just a few ways to say hello in the world of hundreds of different languages we live in. In a world that is becoming increasingly interdependent, it is obvious we can no longer afford to remain monolingual. According to Care to Care website, only 7% of the world speak English, but 90% of the United States citizens cannot speak another language. I have come here today to persuade you by telling you of all the benefits of knowing a second language so that you will want to learn a second language. Have you ever wondered why some people comprehend more than others? How about having those perfect high-paying jobs? Have you ever wondered why some people cope with stress better than others? Why is it that some people get dementia earlier than others, or Alzheimer's? All of these questions may be linked together. The fact that knowing a second language increases your ability to absorb, comprehend, create, problem solve, and have brain growth. These are just a few benefits of knowing and practicing the use of a second language. There are a large amount of information to support such facts, and here are a few. According to Auburn University in June of 2012, an increase in analytical skills was found in those students taking a foreign language. Creativity was found to be heightened every time they spoke. Problem-solving skills with dealing with abstract analytical problems increased. Increased opportunities in the workforce, whether it be in government, military, medical, law, industry, any work field your opportunity increased. Increased in math and English skills were shown on the SAT and the GRE results. Another obvious benefit was the increase in listening skills, as you need to concentrate on the language in order to know what is being stated. A study in Northwestern University showed that bilingual individuals could better pick out a speaker's voice amidst another bunch of distractions. The superior attention, inhibition, and encoding of sound, as the researcher put it, can help you better focus on the client, the boss, and what the employee is saying. 7. Knowing a second language increases brain growth. Judith Kroll, a psychologist at Penn State University, stated that, had studies that supported the idea that speaking more than one language keeps the brain in shape and bolsters mental function. She found that bilingual speakers could outperform single language speakers in mental tasks and editing out irrelevant material. They were also better at prioritizing and multitasking. As stated in USA Today on November 7th of 2013, researchers stated that speaking more than one language can stimulate the brain all the time. 8. A second language increases coping mechanisms, according to the Huffington Post in June of 2013. The study completed last year showed that people thinking of a foreign language were more likely to consider a question slowly and analytically if they did it in another language. It seems that thinking in your own tongue made you nonchalant, really not care, but if you put it in another language, you seem to enhance the deliberation, which gave better logic results. 9. In research published in the Journal of Neurology, researcher Ellen Velostek found that she got 211 people with probable Alzheimer's disease. 102 of them were bilingual, 109 were not. She started the study when their cognitive impairment had started. She showed that in bilingual patients, the diagnosis was 4.3 years later on average, and they reported the symptoms 5.1 years later than the patients that only spoke one language. This clearly states that being bilingual has certain cognitive benefits and boosts the performance of the brain, especially one of the most important areas known as the executive control center. Therefore, research has shown that a second language prolongs the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's. 10. According to Care to Care website, they state we gain a better understanding of cultures, values, and beliefs. So now that I made the point of why you should learn a second language, now I want to tell you how to learn a second language. First off, from birth to 5 years is the optimal years. According to the Science Express, babies and young children have incredibly early learning skills and are uniquely equipped to absorb this by tone, by sound, by just the different phonics of the whole system that encourages them to be cross-linguistic learners. So, how do I teach my child to be language when I might not know one? According to Parents Magazine, first off, you need to start early. Don't delay. 2 languages is not going to confuse them. Actually, it's going to enhance their processing ability. Second, expose your child to a native speaker. You can get a babysitter that's bilingual and speak to them. If you have somebody that you know that speaks a different language, you can Skype, or they can just come over and talk. Third, just by you sitting down and reading a book in another language to them will enhance their ability to pick up the second language. Now, you're probably thinking as an adult, how am I supposed to learn this language? According to the National Journal published in 2012, 85% of the United States adults realize that they need to learn. So why not just do it? First, be motivated. Look at the benefits of knowing a second language. The advantages are stacked high. Now that you are mature, you may have more time to focus on a language. You can learn from CDs, from the internet, from television, travel. You can go to a country of choice and stay there until you learn the language. I started studying Spanish, and I have persuaded my husband to do the same. So in conclusion, looking at the data collected, an overwhelming amount of positive comes from knowing a second language. You will be able to concentrate on the task at hand, be more creative, be an efficient problem solver, increase your language and math skills, perfect listening, increase your brain growth, have more coping mechanisms, understand other cultures, values, traditions, along with prolonging the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's. So, there are no negatives, only positives. Improve your life and the lives of others by taking and practicing a second language.